Today we're going to talk about Alfa Spiders. So this could be about a 3-hour-long video talking about 40 years of Alfa Spiders. So we'll focus on this second generation car like the one I have. I think the first thing you need to realize about these cars is these did not compete with a TR4 or an MGB or any of these low-priced British or even a Fiat 124 sports cars. These were up there. These were at least $1,000, $1,500 higher price tag, and you'd say, well, what's the big deal, $1,000? But we're talking 25, 30% higher. They were up closer to Jaguars and stuff like that. There's a lot of reasons to love the Alfa Spider, and I'll get into that in a minute, but we got to pay the bills here for a minute, and I want to talk about Cocoa Mats. The car behind me, as well as most of the cars in this building, have Cocoa Mats, and I love the mats. Heck, I've been using them for 30 years. They are custom made, they are thick. They actually let dirt sift through them so you can't see the dirt on the mat, and then you just shake them out. They insulate against road noise. They just look good. They come in a lot of different colors and different fabrics, even stuff for newer cars. And they've got this classic sports car look that fits these cars so well. If you want to learn more about these mats and why I love them, click the link in the description. It'll take you to the website and you can find out more. But these second generation cars starting in 1970 are really a sweet spot in that they're not tremendously expensive like some of the earlier cars. It used to be you could buy the first Giuliettas for 10 or 15 grand all day long. They went to 80 to 100,000. The Duettos you could buy for 10 or 15 grand all day long. They're up now in the $40,000 to $60,000 range. The cars like this one are still in the 15 to 20,000 range, depending on condition, obviously, and you know how nicely it's been restored. So if I were shopping for one of these cars, obviously I put my money on this early second gen car. I think it's one of the prettiest ones. The engine is phenomenal. It's light, it's tossable. To me, the best of the bunch of these cars. So they made the 1750 Spider in 70 and 71 with the square tail like this one. In 73 and 74, it still had relatively small bumpers. They started to put some bumper guards on them, and they moved to a 2-liter, which is where it ended up. So, so this 1750 in this mid-year area is considered by Alfa enthusiasts to be the sweetheart of the bunch. It's big enough that you get some torque, but it revs really nice. So these 1750s are kind of what the true Alfa enthusiasts chase after. The 2-liter obviously had even a little more power and torque, but it was heading into the 70s and emissions and so forth. And then they went to electronic fuel injection. By 75, they switched to very, very large bumpers. You can modify the larger bumper cars back to the earlier bumpers. It's not a 10-minute job though. And they soldiered on. There was a Veloce. The Veloce was the fancy leather interior version. The Graduate was more of a base car. They were trying to get a younger buyer by the late 80s. So, which of these cars do you want? Well, that depends on a couple things. It depends on how much money you've got, whether you're looking for a pure sports car or a boulevard tourer, and what creature comforts you require. The early cars like this one did not come with air conditioning. The later cars mostly all did come with air conditioning, but be careful, they didn't all come with air conditioning, even in the late 80s. So let's talk about pitfalls with buying these cars. Rust is obviously the biggest bugaboo. They were pretty notorious rusters. Buy something from a dry state, make sure it didn't come from a wet state. You're gonna find rust issues worse on the earlier cars. They did get better. The finicky stuff can break, especially on the more plush cars. The engines are rather robust. The fuel injection On these early cars, the spica fuel injection it works, but it's expensive and hard to rebuild if you do have problems. Other than that, parts are not terribly expensive. A few things are, but most things are fairly reasonable. Most things are available. You know, interiors rip a little bit, but they make seat covers for them. The 5-speeds are pretty durable. Occasionally they need synchros, but that's not a super common problem with them. These cars have great club support. AROC is the national club. There's forums for these cars. The community is great. The knowledge is great. These are easy cars to enjoy and have fun with other hobbyists. If you want to learn more about this car in particular or Alfa Spiders in general, go to our website, classicmotorsports.com. I think you'll enjoy it. We write about these cars all the time.
Support brands that support Classic Motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. Visit crcindustries.com to learn more. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. And to see more stories like this, visit us online at classicmotorsports.com.